Eugene Henley Jr., widely known as Big U, has been a prominent figure in Los Angeles, intertwining roles as a music executive, community activist, and alleged leader of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips gang. Recent federal investigations have cast a spotlight on Henley, unveiling a complex narrative that juxtaposes his public persona with serious criminal allegations. Background on Eugene Big U Henley. Emerging from the streets of South Los Angeles, Henley ascended within the ranks of the Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips during the 1980s, a period marked by intense gang activity. His influence extended beyond the gang as he ventured into the music industry, notably contributing to the early career of the late rapper Nipsey Hussle. Henley also established Developing Options, a nonprofit organization aimed at providing alternatives to gang involvement for local youth. Federal investigation and charges. In March 2025, federal authorities charged Henley with operating a criminal enterprise accused of engaging in a spectrum of illicit activities, including murder, human trafficking, extortion, and fraud. The indictment alleges that Henley utilized his nonprofit, Developing Options, as a facade to embezzle donations and shield the enterprise from law enforcement scrutiny. Prosecutors assert that Henley orchestrated the organization in a manner akin to a mafia boss, leveraging his gang affiliation and community standing to intimidate and expand his influence. Cite Turn Zero Search. Allegations of murder. A particularly grave accusation involves the 2021 murder of an aspiring rapper, identified in court documents as R.W. the victim, signed to Henley's unique music label, allegedly recorded a defamatory track about Henley. Prosecutors claim that Henley, accompanied by an associate, confronted R.W. in Las Vegas, resulting in Henley fatally shooting him. The victim's body was later discovered in a desert area off Interstate 15 in Nevada. Embezzlement and fraud beyond violent crimes. Henley is accused of financial misconduct, notably embezzling substantial donations intended for Developing Options. These funds, contributed by celebrities and reputable organizations, were allegedly diverted for personal use. Additionally, Henley is implicated in submitting fraudulent applications for COVID-19 relief loans, misrepresenting the financial status of his music label to secure funds illicitly. Cite Turn Zero Community Impact and Reaction. The revelations have sent shockwaves through South Los Angeles, where Henley was regarded by many as a reformed gangster turned community advocate. His arrest has sparked debates about the authenticity of his philanthropic efforts and the potential betrayal felt by community members who believed in his initiatives. Legal proceedings. Following his arrest, Henley appeared in federal court, facing charges under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations (RICO) Act, among other offenses. If convicted, he faces a potential life sentence. Henley has publicly declared his innocence, posting videos on social media asserting that the charges are unfounded and stem from his community work. He remains in custody, with a detention hearing scheduled for March 31st and an arraignment on April 8th. 24. Certainly, here are 5 more paragraphs that expand on the broader implications, societal impact, and potential legal consequences of this case. The evolution of street gangs and their influence. The Rollin' 60s neighborhood Crips have been one of the most influential and feared gangs in Los Angeles since the late 1970s. Their presence extends beyond local turf battles, as they have established drug trafficking networks, financial fraud schemes, and connections with international criminal organizations. Henley's alleged leadership and federal investigation highlight how gangs have evolved from neighborhood-based violence to more sophisticated criminal enterprises that exploit legal loopholes and even infiltrate legitimate industries such as music, real estate, and social programs. The role of nonprofits in criminal cover-ups. Developing Options, Henley's nonprofit organization, was initially praised for its efforts in guiding young people away from gang life. However, prosecutors argue that it served as a front for illicit activities, raising concerns about how criminal organizations can manipulate charitable institutions. This case has prompted calls for increased oversight of nonprofit organizations associated with former gang leaders, as well as stricter regulations to prevent financial misconduct under the guise of community outreach. The justice system and RICO charges. Henley's indictment under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations (RICO) Act indicates that the federal government views his operations as an organized crime syndicate rather than isolated criminal acts. RICO charges are designed to dismantle criminal organizations by targeting their leadership, financial networks, and enforcers. If convicted, Henley could face decades in prison, and the government could seize assets linked to his alleged criminal enterprises. His trial will likely set a precedent for how federal authorities handle cases involving gang leaders who operate under the guise of legitimacy. Community trust and fallout. For decades, Henley was seen as a bridge between the street and corporate worlds, leveraging his connections to uplift at-risk youth. His arrest has divided the community, with some viewing him as a victim of systemic targeting while others feel betrayed by the allegations. The case raises questions about whether true rehabilitation is possible for former gang leaders, or if their past affiliations inevitably lead them back to crime. If proven guilty, it could damage the credibility of other ex-gang members who genuinely seek to reform and contribute to society. The future of gang prosecution and prevention. Henley's case underscores the increasing efforts by law enforcement to dismantle long-standing gang networks. Authorities are employing advanced investigative techniques, including financial tracking, wiretaps, and digital surveillance, to build stronger cases against organized crime figures. Meanwhile, policymakers and activists argue that more investments should be made in preventive measures, such as education, job training, and mental health services, to address the root causes of gang involvement. The outcome of this case will likely influence future strategies in gang prevention and law enforcement tactics. This case remains a major turning point in the ongoing battle against organized crime in Los Angeles, with far-reaching consequences for community activism, criminal justice policies, and the future of gang intervention programs.